and we'll start the recording over here. So good to see all of you here on Zoom and on audio conference and on Facebook as well. And we are ready now to get going into the pranamantras. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padkamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Vipasindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hari Hari Bo. Okay, so welcome to our Friday afternoon Srimad Bhagavatam class. Preeti Radhika Mataji, Sudapa, Varshana, and Archana joining us on Zoom here. And we have
Hare Krishna. Dandat
Pranam. And we have some watching us on or listening to us on the audio conference. And the last I checked, we had Sonal Mataji. And now also we have Sonia Mataji there. So let me record their conference also. So you'll hear some responses there. So bear with me while that happens. The recording started. Okay, there we go. And then watching us also on Facebook. So we will just get going. Bhaskar Yalala Prabhu, thank you so much for joining. So today's verse is verse 1736. And before we go there, I just wanted to do a quick recap on where we are. So does anybody remember? It's almost 36 weeks that we have been studying, if not more, from chapter number 7 of the first canto. 36 weeks means 9 months. It's a long time. Right? So you remember anything, any topics that we have, any word that comes to your mind from there?
Ashwathama killed the sons of Pandavas, and then out of fear he ran away, and Arjun was catching up to him, so he got in fear, he released the Brahmastra, which he didn't know how to retrieve back.
Right. Very good. And then what did Krishna do?
If somebody else wants to take it.
Okay, good. That's a good attitude. Somebody else wants to go and tell us? Krishna, not yet. This is just the first canto. Sudarshan Chakra releases I will do in 10th canto.
Mataji, Krishna, in the last week of lecture, you have told like Krishna told Ashwathama not to show any mercy on him because, he's the one who's responsible
told Ashwathama or?
No, Krishna told Ashwathama not to show any mercy on the,
Krishna told to Ashwathama?
Krishna told Arjuna, sorry, I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Krishna told Arjuna not to kill to kill Ashwathama. Don't show any mercy on Ashwathama, because he is the one who is responsible for killing, his innocent boys when they were, sleeping.
Right.
That was the time you should not, that is one of the, religious principles of war also. You should not kill, when somebody is sleeping, especially the, boys, innocent boys.
Okay. And then, thank you. And then, so was there some description about what was Arjun's emotions? What was the prominent emotion about Arjun that was mentioned there?
Red, fiery copper balls. He was, no, he was very angry, actually. Yeah.
Arjuna was very angry. And do I hear something here from the audio?
He was in the mode of passion.
Anger,
Mataji.
yes, good. Yeah, he was in the mode of passion. Anger, okay. All right.
But then he said that Brahmana, he knew that Brahmana should not be killed. And Vaishna is at the highest level, as he serves Lord Vishnu. And one who has the knowledge of scriptures, he's a Vipra. And so you discussed about this, and you discussed about all the three modes, mode of goodness, ignorance, passion and ignorance. Also you discussed about them last week.
Okay, good. So Arjuna had anger, and was Krishna also angry?
No, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
No, Mataji.
No, we have got contradictory answers. Yes, okay, let's vote. Let's poll and get the public opinion.
Krishna was actually smiling. He was just showing anger, but actually he's transcendental. So he's beyond, all the modes of material nature.
So Krishna doesn't get angry? Then how come we get angry? Because we are his parts and parcel, right? If Krishna has anger, we can't have anger.
He was angry. He was angry on Arjuna, the way he was thinking.
Arjuna?
And he
was angry on Arjuna? Krishna was angry on Arjuna?
Because he was angry with Ashwathama. He should not have any mercy. He should not have this kind of a feeling that he should leave the Brahmana, because he said that it is we should have mercy only on the Vipra who has the knowledge of the scriptures. Not on the Brahman Bandhu is the one who is just born in the family of.
No, I'm not asking about Brahman Bandhu or anything. I'm just asking about anger of Krishna. That's the question. So my question was that first question is that was Krishna angry at all?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, he was. Right? Yes, he was. Yes, and Sonal Mataji is emphasizing from there. Yes, and she's right. He was angry. But what was so special about that we discussed? There was a very big contrast that we made between Arjuna's anger and Krishna's anger. How was Arjuna's eyes when he was angry?
Red like
red copper balls. Can you imagine somebody looking at you with red copper ball eyes, right? That itself is enough to scare. Okay. And how was Lord's eyes described?
Lotus eyes.
Lotus eyes, right? So we had to emphasize there. And yes, he's transcendental, so he's not like that. His anger is also transcendental. It's not that because he's transcendental, so he doesn't have anger. He has anger. Where else did he exhibit anger? In which other pastime you see him exhibiting anger? Very ferocious.
Narsingh Bhagwan.
And Narsingh Dev, right? He's so very angry that even Lakshmi doesn't want to come, go stand there close to him like that, right? So that is what we have. So good. Thank you so much for the recap. I know that you all guys have been taking good notes and also remembering all these things, right? So he had said that as you mentioned, that in the last verse he said, you should not show any mercy by releasing this relative of Brahmana, Brahma Bandhu, for he has killed innocent boys in their sleep. And that is also something that you all had mentioned and you pointed that out, right? So let's go to today's verse. And today's verse is very, very musical. And I will actually invite all of you to, take turns and recite it. So I will first, recite it so that we have the general idea. on how this verse goes, and then we will get going. So for those of you who are on Zoom, I will begin sharing the screen here with you. And let me know whether you see Srimad Bhagavatam 1:736 on your screen.
Yes, Mother. Yes, Mataji.
See that? Okay, very good. Mattam pramattam unmattam suptam balam sriyam jadam prapannam viratham bhitam naripum hanti dharmavid. Mattam pramattam unmattam suptam balam sriyam jadam prapannam viratham bhitam naripum hanti dharmavid. Mattam pramattam unmattam suptam balam sriyam jadam prapannam viratham bhitam naripum hanti dharmavid. Okay, so now let's take turns and see who all want to recite this verse. Any takers?
May I recite, Mataji?
Yes, please go ahead.
Mattam pramattam unmattam suptam balam istriyam jadam prapannam viratham bhitam naripum hanti dharmavet.
Very nice. Anybody else?
Yes, Mataji. Mattam pramattam unmattam shubtam balam striyam jadam prapannam viratam vitam naripum hanti dharmabhi.
Very nice. Okay. Any more takers?
I can take Mataji.
Yes, please.
Mattam pramatam unmattam suptam balam striyam jadam prapannam viratham bhitam naripum hanti dharmavit.
All right. Any more takers?
Mataji, shall I go?
Yes, please.
Mattam pramattam unmattam suptam balam striyam jadam prapannam viratham bhitam naripum hanti dharmavet.
Good. Who else?
I'll go, Mataji.
Okay, good.
Mattam pramatam unmatam suptam balam striyam jadam prapannam viratam bhitam naripum hanti dharmavet.
Okay, and then anybody else left on Zoom who didn't do that? I'm not able to see the participants' screen because I'm...
Mataji, I can read on phone.
Yes, yes. I will come to the phone because I could hear some sounds over there. Okay. And then Anant Shesha Das Prabhu, welcome on the Zoom call. Thank you for joining. Okay, so go ahead on from the audio conference. Please give us the verse.
Mattam pramattam unmattam suptam balam sriyam jadam prapannam viradhan bhitam naripum hanti dharmavit.
Very nice. Anybody else wants to take?
I can go.
Yes, please, Sonal Mataji, please give us.
Mattam pramatam unmatam suktam balam striyam jadam prapanam viratham bhitam naripum hanti dharmavit.
Very nice. Anybody on Facebook wants to say the word? Then we'll have to jump and come into the Zoom call. Like that. I'm just kidding. Okay, so we are being joined by Bhagyeshwari Tamkhane Mataji as well as Kasturi Manjari Dasi Mataji joined us. Thank you so much and welcome to the call. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, and verse number 36. So tell me, how did it feel reciting this verse?
Very nice, Mataji.
Very nice.
Nice.
Everybody was very nice, Mataji.
What was very nice?
Everybody sang very nice.
Everybody sang very nice, isn't it? Yeah. The verse is very, yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is musical.
It's very,
It is very musical, melodious.
yeah. So what is so special about this verse?
Mother, it has all the ma at the end. You see that, I mean, every verse has a connection. Suptam, jadam, bhitam. Then last is Dharmavet. So it becomes a melodious thing.
Yeah,
I don't know what to call it, but
it must be one of the special styles, because the first three words there, first three lines of this verse, all of them end in a M, right?
They rhyme very well.
Yeah, they rhyme very well. And in the second, last line also, there is an M there, but not necessarily in all the ones, right? So let us see, what does it mean? Mattam, pramattam. It sounded very nice in your mouth, right, when you're reciting it. Now let's go and see what is actually the meaning of these words. So let's go there.
It's not very good.
See, this is the material world. Whatever you think is good is not good. Whatever you were enjoying. But anyway, this is Bhagavatam. So obviously, any word of Bhagavatam that you recite is good. But my general comment was that just don't go by the face value of it. Anything that sounds very good and nice is necessarily a good thing. Okay, so mattam means careless. Pramattam means intoxicated, right? And unmattam means insane, right? So imagine if a person is mattam and then he becomes pramattam. How can a mattam become a pramattam? What does he have to do?
Careless means while drinking that careless person become intoxicated.
Yes. So Sudhapamata is saying that from mattam, if you have to get promoted to pramattam, you have to drink some alcohol, right? So imagine then that, alcohol itself has a bad effect on you, right? Even on careful people, it has an effect. So you can imagine that if a careless person gets intoxicated, what's going to happen, right? Then unmattam means insane. So after you're intoxicated, then the next level that you can, next higher height or lower height that you can reach is, or the lower depth that you can reach is become insane, like that, right? Suptam is asleep. So there is a sleep, we know, like we all go to sleep in the night. That's one type of sleep. What is the other type of sleep?
Ignorance.
Yeah, ignorance is the other type, right? Right? That you are sleeping in the lap of the witch called Maya, right? Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that. Okay. Kota nidra jao Maya pishachi re kole, right? So you have been sleeping for many, many years. Balam means a boy. Striyam means a woman, right? So these words you know. Jadam, we know foolish. Jad is foolish, a fool. Do you remember any name, any person who had a name?
Jada Bharat.
Jada Bharat. Yeah, Jada Bharat means foolish. Okay. Prapannam means surrendered. Did you hear this word recently somewhere?
Yes, Bhagavad Gita, second chapter.
Yes, Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, where Krishna says, Sishyasteham shadi mam tam prapannam. I am a surrendered soul. Prapanna means surrender. And I am a soul surrendered into you. I'm your disciple. Shadhi means please instruct me. Instruct me. He says instruct me. Right? So here it is prapannam. So someone who has surrendered is called prapannam. I had a classmate whose name was Madha Prapanna. And I could never understand what that meant. I used to find very, funny that last name, Prapanna. But now when I'm reading the Sanskrit, I understand like, oh wow, that was such a beautiful name. That, was there. Okay. Now,
Mataji,
remember?
Mataji, you have shared a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam also, right? In that also Prapannam comes. Prapannam
Yes.
Pahi Mamisha.
Yeah, oh yes, you have memorized that, isn't it? Why don't you give us that verse? Yeah, Shiromat Padavo Kitva.
Yeah, Shiromat Padayo Kritva Bahu Bhayam Cha Parasparam Prapannam Pahi Mamisha Bhitam Mrityu Grahanavat.
Very nice. And what does it mean?
It means, Mataji, placing my head onto the lotus feet of the Lord, and by folding my hands, I sincerely pray to you, God, just give me protection, because I'm very scared as I'm in this material world. I'm in this. So
Good.
Give me protection from that.
Good. Anybody else who had memorized this? By the way, is one of the verses that a couple of months ago. You did that? Would you want to recite it, Sonal Mataji?
Yeah.
Please.
Shiro matpataya krutva bahubhyam cha parasparam prapanam pahi mam isha bhutam mrityu grahanavad.
Grahanavad. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, good. Good. For those of you who didn't do the homework, now you have to go back and do the homework. Right. So prapannam is them. Now the next word is, it is not viratam, it is viratam. Right? The emphasis is not on the I over there. It's a small I there. Viratam. Right? And for those of you who are watching on the screen on Zoom and as well on Facebook, you can see, look at here, and where does it say? Prapattam, suptam, balam, prapannam, viratam. You see? It's a small, it's not a heavy E there sound there. So viratam, right? Viratam, okay. So one who has lost his chariot. Rath is chariot, and viratam means without it. Okay? Okay, then bhitam is afraid. That we know, right? Hai, bhitam. Na is not. Ripum is enemy. Hanti is kill. Dharmavit is one who knows the principles of religion. All right. So if a man is insane, what will you call him? And those who are watching us on Facebook can type out the answer. I might see it a little later because of the delay, but I will see it nonetheless. And welcome. Unmattam. What's your name? Unmattam. Okay. All right. And then if somebody's foolish, what will you call him?
Jadam.
And if somebody's a small boy, what will you call him?
Balam.
If somebody's an enemy, what will you call him?
Ripum.
And if you're going to kill somebody, what are you going to call?
Hanti.
If somebody is intoxicated, what will you call him?
Ramattam.
And if somebody is a female, what would you call?
Triyam.
And what will you call a woman who's sleeping?
Striyam Shuptam. No, Striyam Shuptam.
Yeah. In Sanskrit, you can say Suptam. You can say, yeah, in Sanskrit, you can say Suptam Sriyam, or you can say Sriyam Suptam. Sanskrit doesn't matter in which order you place the words, right? So that's the beauty, that even though we place the words in any order, people those who are sane, between those who are not unmattam, they are able to find out the meaning. And since all of us are insane in Kali Yuga, we require people to translate that and then export that by explaining more and put a big purport on it. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam swells inside, because we are mudhas, we are jada. And I also see some responses there. Jadhan says Vidyavatu, yes, and Mudha says Smita Dattamatuji, very nice, and Balam. Yeah, Balam, yeah, for kids. Okay, so are we ready to get to the translation of these words? It sounded very nice. Mattam, pramattamun, mattam, suptam, balam, sriyam, jadam, prapannam, viratam, bhitam, naripum, hanti, dharmavit. So what does it say? It says a person who knows the principles of religion. Can you tell me what Sanskrit word is that for a person who knows the principles of religion?
Dharmavit.
Dharmavit, one who knows the dharma, right? And in the morning, what did I tell you? Who is the one who really can tell you what dharma is in the morning class? Because Arjun was giving his flavor of dharma, right?
Krishna or Guru can tell us.
Yes, only Krishna, and then Krishna's representative, that is Guru, in the line of the disciplic succession, can tell you what exactly religion is. Like that. Okay, so he's saying that a person who knows the principles of religion does not kill an enemy who is careless, intoxicated, insane, asleep, afraid, or devoid of his chariot. Nor does he kill a boy, a woman, a foolish creature, or a surrendered soul. So how many people can you count and tell me how many they don't kill? How
9.
Many? Are there 9? Anybody is going to count less or more?
11.
10.
Okay, I got 9, I got 10, I got 11. So good. All right, so let's count it. Does not kill an enemy who is careless. 1, intoxicated. 2,
10 Mataji.
3, asleep. 4, afraid. 5,
Yeah, it's 10 Mataji.
devoid of his chariot. 6, boy, 7, woman, 8, foolish creature, 9, and a surrendered soul.
Assigned soul.
10.
It's 10, right? And it's such an interesting, story is there in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam when Parikshit Maharaj, who is ruling this entire planet, he's the emperor of this world. And so being a good emperor and a good king, he used to go out on his horse and roam his kingdom to see whether people are following whatever the rules that he has set over there. And so he sees that there is a bull who's standing on one leg, and there's a cow next to him. And then he sees that there is a man who is dressed in royal robes, like, velvet and that kind of stuff, right? So he's wearing dress, but he's actually a Shudra, and he's beating the bull. So King Parikshit is so strong, and he's such a righteous king that he immediately pulls out his sword to kill him. So what is the offense that Shudra is doing that makes Parikshit so angry?
He's hurting a bull.
Yes, and bull and cow belong to the same family.
Yeah.
So much of respect was given to the cows in those days that the king would just, chop off the head of anybody who dared to kill. And also to keep in mind is that in those days, the kings understood who is a citizen, right? I mean, nowadays you need a visa to get into a country, you need passport to get there, you need work permits to be able to work there. So we are all more centered, we are very self-centered. Human beings as a species are very self-centered. And you can get away by, atrocities on, some of the animals, right? I mean, one of the things that is severely punished is that if you kill the country's emblem, like if you kill a peacock in India, it's an offense because it's a national bird. So like that. Other than that, but otherwise animals are killed pretty much ruthlessly all over the world. Some countries might have a much better rule. For example, I remember when I came to USA, I was in Michigan and I was learning how to drive here and reading the books. And one of them said that, hey, deer is the animal there, and you have to make sure that you don't bump into your car into a deer, because sometimes the deers get mesmerized by seeing the lights coming from your car, and they will just stand on the road, and you will be driving there at a high speed, you hit the deer. And if the deer gets hurt because of that, the penalty is that you have to now take care of the deer for the rest of the deer's life, like that. So there are so that's a very good rule that has been put across. And a good king and a good management or a good administrator actually will make sure that such kinds of rules are in place that will take care of not only the human beings but everything else that lives there. So when it comes to saying who is your citizen, the citizen is not just a human being, it's also all the animals, right? All the all those who live in the water, all those who fly in the sky, all those who walk on the earth, right? Not only that, all the plants, all the rivers, all the mountains, everything is considered to be a citizen, and the king is supposed to take care of that. So obviously when this person is trying to kill and then beating the bull, then he takes out his sword. Now this person who is adorned in royal dress is actually the personality of Kali, because towards the end of Parikshit's reign, sometime after that, Kali starts coming, right? So this is personality of Kali. But when Parikshit Maharaj's reign was there, Kali was not there. It was, still the rules of Dwapar were there. So it was a very nice and a prosperous kingdom that he was ruling, and things were in proper shape because he's a devotee of the Lord. So he was governing things properly. But then this Kali is beginning to manifest because the other Yuga is coming. So he's there. And then, when Kali sees that King Parikshit is going to kill him, then what he does is that he falls down at the feet of Maharaj Parikshit, right? And Maharaj Parikshit then, he's pleading, and not Maharaj Parikshit, but Kali is pleading. And so out of the 10 that we said, that one who knows the principles of religion, that person will not kill such a person. So can you tell me which one is this Kali? In which state is he? out of the 10.
Surrendered soul.
No, we speak Sanskrit here.
Oh.
Prapannam.
Prapannam, right? So he's Prapannam, right? So yeah, Hare Krishna, Prasanna Prabhu, thank you for joining, and Prima Mataji as well. Okay, so yeah, so he's Prapannam, so that's why he did not kill. So when he's about to kill, he suddenly, Kali suddenly drops at his feet. So then, he holds the sword in his hand. He's saying, okay, I'm not going to kill. And then he says, okay, you have to, you can't stay in my kingdom. And then Kali says, but you are ruling the whole planet. Where will I go? Everywhere it is your kingdom. Where can I go? You're saying, well, leave your kingdom. Please allow me to stay somewhere. So he said, okay, I will allow you to stay in 4 places. And he says, I'm Kali. The Kali is coming. I have to manifest myself. I have to do my duty also. So that's why I'm here. Give me a place to stay. So he says, okay, you can stay in 4 places. So you can, and those 4 places were, does anybody know what those 4 places were?
Where gold is. And
gold. Gambling, where gambling
Where
happens.
gambling is happening.
And
uncleanliness.
Okay. So I will give you a hint. Follow the 4 regulative principles, and you will know. Okay. You will know he was allowed to stay in places where those 4 regulative principles were not being practiced. Right? So what's the first regulative principle that you follow?
Related to mercy, which is
no meat eating. It's a meat eating place, Mataji.
No meat eating place.
Yeah, right. So you can live in the slaughterhouses or places where meat is eaten. You can go and live there, right? Okay, that's one. So no meat eating. Then what's the second one?
And no illicit sex.
No intoxication. Okay. This means that he can go, this means he can go and live in where can he go and live? Where
in the bars and
in the bars, yes, bars, etc. Okay. Then more.
No gambling.
No gambling. So where can he stay?
Where gambling is happening.
Casinos
and all.
Right. And then?
No illicit sex.
Where, so those places.
Yeah, okay, right? So those kind of parlors, you can go and stay. So 4 places, Parikshit Maharaj said, you can go and stay in the 4 places. And then Kali turns around to him and says, but Lord, there are no such places in your kingdom, because he was ruling everything so nicely. So those places were just not there at all, right? And look at now, 5,000 years, less than 5,000 years later, we have all 4 of them in plenty, everywhere, every country, right? Almost every city will have one of those. And so he says, where will I stay? And then what you said in the beginning, then Maharaj says, okay, I will allow you to stay where gold is. Because too much of gold also makes a person go. What can happen when a person has got gold? Give me from.
You can entangle with that. Mixing of gold. And
Ahankar develops.
Okay. So can I say that, you get intoxicated by gold? Can I say that?
Yeah.
Yes, because you can get greedy.
You can get that, right? It can go to your head. So what will be the Sanskrit for that?
Pramattam.
Yes, pramattam, right? So gold can intoxicate. What else can intoxicate you other than alcohol?
Success, Mataji.
Success, yeah. Success can intoxicate you. Beauty
also, Mataji.
Yeah, self-beauty. Any assets that you have can intoxicate you, right? So here they were saying that, okay, prapannam, you should not kill them. So continuing on with this, then you should not also kill a boy. Now, can you give me an example of when a boy was killed?
Yes, these 5 boys.
Yes, these 5 boys. Yeah, that was an easy one, right? Can you tell me of a 6th boy who was killed?
Mataji, Parikshit Maharaj inside the womb.
Inside the womb, yeah, he's a tiny fetus, yeah. Okay, then 7th.
Mataji, Abhimanyu.
Abhimanyu, yes, he was not a full-fledged man. Yeah, he was young. So they killed him. Okay, good. A foolish creature or a surrendered soul, a woman, a foolish creature or a surrendered soul, you don't kill them. Let's go and look at the purport and see what Prabhupada tells us. So an enemy who does not resist is never killed by a warrior, right? Who knows the principles of religion. Formerly, battles were fought on the principles of religion and not for the sake of sense gratification. If the enemy happened to be intoxicated, asleep, etc., as above mentioned, he was never to be killed. These are some of the codes of religious war. Formerly, war was never declared by the whims of selfish political leaders. It was carried out on religious principles free from all vices. Violence carried out on religious principles is far superior to so-called non-violence. Isn't that a very strong sentence here? Violence carried out on religious principles, right? But then who's going to define what the religious principles are? Right? That's a $1 million question. Who can tell you? Where will you go? Where should you go to know what the religious principles are?
Guru, the representative
Guru
of
or
Yeah.
Krishna.
Guru or
Yeah.
Krishna, exactly. Guru or Krishna, they are the only two who can tell us, right? And we had picked up a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, right? Where it says religious principles are, the ones that are defined by Krishna. Like that. Okay. So now, now look at these famous three favorite words that we saw today, right? What were the three? Careless. What was the Sanskrit for careless? Mattam. And then what was next? Intoxicated.
Pramattam.
Mattam. And then the last one was insane.
Unmattam.
Unmattam. Pramattam. Unmattam. So let's see what is there, right? So careless. Tell me, how can one be careless? Have you ever been careless?
Yes.
Yes. Would you like to share? Would you dare to share?
Sometimes
Well, take care.
If an important document, not now but in previous years or so, means sometimes we forget where we keep. So that can be an example of careless in the material world.
Yes, that is an example of carelessness very much. Yes. Usually that kind of carelessness is not going to harm somebody to a very extreme end, but it can harm. For example, this you're saying that somebody gave you paper, maybe the spouse gave you some piece of papers to keep, and when he needs it you can't find it. So okay, no heavens are going to fall down, right? But if somebody is careless with somebody's medical records, right? And the doctor is saying, where's the medical record? Because this person is involved in an accident and we can't find his medical records, right? So that's extremes of carelessness. Right? So when people are careless, now because of carelessness, they can do certain things. For example, so many times we hear stories about, I was cleaning a gun. I was cleaning my gun and the bullet came and hit the neighbor, right? So, well, when you sit down and clean your gun, aren't you supposed to take out the bullet, the first thing? So this is carelessness, right? So when people do commit certain crimes because of carelessness or certain mistakes because of carelessness, we should not consider them to be our enemies. They did not do it with an inimical intent. They were careless, they did that, right? So,
but example with that medication means someone you have the responsibility to give a couple of medicines to a patient and you don't recall every time and you didn't write, so that will be also carelessness.
Yes, that is carelessness. And but this is like matta pramattam. So he's saying that categories of people. So just because somebody did not give medicine to somebody else, right, on time,
wrong medicine,
they did the wrong thing, and because of that the patient can also die, right? Yes. But usually for those kind of things you will not kill the person who forgot. So that's what this verse is saying, that if people make a careless mistake, you will not kill them. You can chastise them. You can suspend that nurse or whoever was supposed to do that. You can fire them from their job, right? You can take away their degree and say you can't practice any longer. All those things you can do. But you won't say, okay, he has to be hanged to death till he dies because he forgot to do this, right? I mean, it's not that his crime is any less. I mean, this was a very serious thing that he did, and that is somebody died because of what you were doing. But because of the carelessness which was involved, there was no particular intent, particularly to kill this particular person. The nurse was just, careless, had that habit of, not paying too much attention or right attention. Right? So then that person is not going to be, you can chastise him, but then, you don't kill him. Now, pramatta. What is pramatta? Intoxicated, right? So matta is careless. Pramatta doesn't mean that he is mad. Pramatta doesn't mean that this person is mad. It's just that something he has done or something he has consumed, or there is some external influence. And because of that influence, he has become like mad, mad like. He's become, but he's not like that. It's just something is happening temporarily. Like, so many times they feign, they say, I had temporary insanity, right? People get away after committing crime these days. Why did you kill your wife? I had temporary insanity. Why did you go and shoot in the store? I had temporary insanity, right? It's not that they're always insane. It's not that they're declared as insane people, but temporarily for some point in time, either because somebody is influencing them through mystic powers or they have drunk something, that they are behaving like that. Right? And Prabhupada in one of his lectures says that in this material world, 99.9 people are pramatta. We all are temporarily insane. That's what he says. We all pramatta. He says that, right? And so there's a very nice verse, and it's one of my favorite verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. It's from the 2nd canto, 1st chapter, verse number 4. And I'm just going to bring that up and post it, the link there, and we'll read it all together. So it is. And the link is coming up, Sonal Mataji and Suruchi Mataji, for you on your WhatsApp message.
Yes, we got it.
All right, so let's go then to this verse. Dehapatya kalatrishva atma sanyeshva satsva api tesham pramatto nidanam paschan api na pashyati. And let's look at the synonyms here. Deha means body. Apatya means children. Kalatra means wife. Adishu, and in everything in relation to them. Adishu means etc., etc., etc. Adishu. Atma means own. Sanyeshu means fighting soldiers. Asatsu, fallible. Api, infallible, in spite of. So if asatsu is fallible, okay, students from the Bhagavad Gita class in the morning, can you give me the opposite of asatsu? Asatsu means
infallible, achyuta.
Achyuta, very good for 600 points to Sutapa Mataji. Achyuta. Api, in spite of. Tesham, of all of them. Pramattaha, too attached. Nidhanam, destruction. Paschyan, having been experienced. Api, although. Na, does not. Paschyati, see it. Translation. Persons devoid of Atma Tattva. What is Atma Tattva? What do you think is Atma Tattva?
Self-realization.
Yeah, Tattva is the truth. Yeah. So people who are devoid means they do not know. They do not know about what? They do not know about the spirit. Right? So they do not know about the spirit. So they do not have Atma Tattva Gyan. Right? So I'm also looking at Facebook because I see something very interesting here. Careless mistake. I've got a very fantastic careless mistake that has come up, so I have to pause and I read it out to you. So Sunita Datta Mataji from Chicago, she's giving an example of carelessness. And she's saying, cooking bhoga for Krishna and watching TV at the same time and forgetting to put the salt in the food. That is carelessness. And the good news is that the Shastras say that we should not be killed for that. That's why we are alive. Yeah. So here, back again to this verse, the persons devoid of Atma Tattva, those who do not know of the spirit, do not inquire into the problems of life, being too attached to the fallible soldiers like the body, children, and wife. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction. And am I sharing the screen with you all?
No, Mataji.
Oh, you should complain.
With us, you are. With us.
Oh, yeah. They have got the link, so they're able to do that. I just now realized because I looked at Facebook and I saw myself there. I was like, whoa, there should be a verse over there. Okay. So I'm going to share it one more time. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes, Mother.
Okay. So Deha Patya Kalatra Dishwa Atma Sanyeshwa Asatswa Api Tesham Pramatto Nidhanam Paschan Api Na Paschati. So here, persons devoid of Atma Tattva do not inquire into the problems of life, being too attached to fallible soldiers like body, children, and wife. Although sufficiently experienced, they still do not see their inevitable destruction. And in the purport, Prabhupada is saying that this material world is called the world of death. Every living being beginning from Brahma, whose duration of life is some thousands of millions of years, down to the germs who live for a few seconds only, is struggling for existence. Is that true? Have you felt it? Are you struggling for existence? Or
Yes.
everything hunky-dory for you all?
No.
I'm the only one suffering.
No.
Okay. I have got two. It's just Sonal Mataji and Shraddha Mataji are suffering in this world. Everybody is cool.
We all are
We are also suffering.
We all
You're
are
also
suffering.
Okay.
Everyone is suffering.
Okay, good. That's good because we are not isolated then, Sonal Mataji. We have company.
Yeah.
So therefore, this life is a sort of fight with material nature, which imposes death upon all. So that's the last strike, right? Okay, couldn't do anything to you. Okay, but still, I'll get you in the end. In the human form of life, a living being is competent enough to come to an understanding of this great struggle for existence. But being too attached to family members, society, country, etc., he wants to win over the invincible material nature. Invincible material nature. He wants to win over by the aid of bodily strength, children, wife, relatives, etc. Although he's sufficiently experienced in the matter by dint of past experience. Look at that. He's sufficiently experienced in the matter of trying to overcome or lord over the material nature by dint of his past experience and previous examples of his deceased predecessors. Right? So in the past experience, your own life, we have lived so many lives and we have had so many deaths also. Because we have that experience, and if you forgot about your previous life, then right in front of you, your parents and your grandparents are dying. Right? The previous examples of his deceased predecessors, he still does not see that the so-called fighting soldiers, like children, relatives, society members, and countrymen, are all fallible in the great struggle. All of them are going to fall down. One should examine the fact that his father or his father's father had already died, that he himself is therefore also sure to die. And similarly, his children, who are the would-be fathers of their children, will also die in due course. No one will survive in this struggle with material nature. The history of human society definitely proves it, yet the foolish people still suggest that in the future they will be able to live perpetually with the help of material science. This poor fund of knowledge exhibited by human society is certainly misleading, and it is all due to ignoring the constitution of the living soul. This material world exists only as a dream due to our attachment to it. Otherwise, the living soul is always different from the material nature. The great ocean of material nature is tossing with the waves of time, and the so-called living conditions are something like foaming bubbles, budbuda, which appear before us bodily as self, wife, children, society, countrymen, etc. Due to a lack of knowledge of self, we become victimized by the force of ignorance and thus spoil the valuable energy of human life in a vain search. Look at the adjectives Prabhupada is using over here. In a vain search after permanent living conditions, which are impossible in this material world. How about that? It is impossible. Prabhupada has cast the verdict there straight away. It's just not possible. So reflections on what we read from this nice and cool verse here.
Mataji, we still hope
everything.
for a good life when we have seen our fathers, grandfathers, and rest of the people dying. Still, we hope that we will enjoy this material world.
Yes. And isn't there a little hope that, perhaps I am the only one who's not going to die. In some corner, there is that little hope. And this world
Yes.
thrives on hope. It's like, yeah, they will die, they will die, they will die. Yeah, because they're all older to me. And then our friends start dying. Yeah, they didn't have a healthy lifestyle. But I eat apples. I'm going to live for a long time.
Yeah, Mataji, even if we are not thinking that we will not die, we're just not, I think we're not ready to accept that we're going to die, and we just keep, not even think about it. It's like that.
Yeah, so that's one thing
we just don't want to think about it.
Very right. We don't want to think about it. And then even more so, we don't want to, we live and we behave as if we're never going to die.
Right.
So you know about the behavior that, old and, still wanting to hoard money. Why? Still want to keep money. Why? Yeah, your kids are going to spend it anyway.
That is also hope.
Yeah, that's also hope. Yeah, like that. So, so people do that, and the infallible soldiers. So they're saying so people, a person is saying that I will not die. I will not die because I have such a wonderful wife. Like he says, right? Kaladrishu is wife, right? So why would a person think that I have a nice wife, so I will not die? She'll cook nice food for me, or what is the thing?
She will take care properly.
Say that again, Sudhapa.
She will take care of her properly.
She will take care of him properly, yeah. But then, even the wife, the best of the wives, the best of the things, if Krishna has sent the Yamdoots or Yamrajas to, or Vishnu Doots to get you, then you have to go, right? Your life cannot be extended by even one single minute. One single minute cannot be extended.
Probably he's thinking that my wife is like Savitri.
Yes, exactly. They can think that I have got a wife like Savitri who brought Satyavan back from life. That's what they think. That my wife is keeping all these fasts and all that stuff, right? Every Monday she's fasting, right? So because my wife is fasting, because my wife is praying for my long life, so I will live. And the more she fasts, the longer I live. That's what they think. Like that.
How about wife, Mataji? What is she depending on?
Yeah, there you go. Wife depends on the husband. Husband's nice position, right? And the wife of such a rich man, I can afford this, I can afford that. Even if I get cancer, I will be cured because we'll be able to afford that kind of a treatment which is required, right? Because sometimes so many people just die because they don't have money. They don't have money to cure. Like, for example, just a month ago, I was talking to somebody and his uncle had fluid, his whole body was full of fluid. And then the doctor said that he needed to be put on some, machines and things like that. And the machine itself was costing like, 2 or 3 lakhs a day. They didn't have that kind of money. So they said, okay, he'll have to die. What to do, right?
Mataji, yeah, sorry.
Yes, I was saying that when people have money, then they think that, for money, I will be able to, extend my life. And Prabhupada talks about, that rich businessman in Calcutta who just was begging his doctor that, can you extend my life by 3 months because I have so many projects that are going on. Like that.
Yeah, so that was reminding me of, I have read somewhere Steve Jobs had that realization at the end of his life that he was lying in the most expensive bed possible in this world and still nobody can help him.
Yeah, exactly.
But Mataji, at the same time, there is a community in which the old people, they decide that from now on, I will not have food. Then he stops the water also, and then he dies because he knows that I'm going to die. It is better to, stop all these things and all eatables, and they die. I think it is in Gujarat, in Gujarati community, Mataji.
Okay. There are others also in other parts of the other countries also they follow this thing. But we have to also remember that just doing it just because old age is difficult and trying to say that I will give that up because, I'm old. You have to always see the intention behind it. And somebody might want to, look at Prabhupada, he was 83. And for the amount of projects that he had around him, although he was in such a dilapidated body at that time, but, if he would have 5 more years, then we would have had more literature like that. Of course, we had fantastic disciples who completed that. But what I'm just saying is that just giving up your body, just like you have to see the principle behind it. What is the idea? What is the intention that they are doing that? Right? And it should not be attempted by anybody, any one of us like that. At least certainly not by me. You have to be at a very exalted level of devotional service to say that, okay, I'm going to Ichhamrityu, I'm going to give up my body by giving up, the food, etc.
Mataji, in first canto of Bhagavatam, somewhere, I don't know the verses so well, but somewhere I read that where the process of giving up this body is given, and so aren't they suggesting, and I think Vidura suggested Dhritarashtra also the same thing. Can you please
he didn't suggest
some more light?
This is from Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra leaves home, I think it's chapter 13. What did Vidura say precisely to him? Vidura said that you're old, you're coughing, right? Mucus is there in your body, and yet you are clinging on for this royal comfort that you get in the house of the Pandavas. And who are the Pandavas? They are the ones who killed all your sons, right? And you are living there like a dog. He used those words. And the reason was to shake him out of that situation so that he leaves, and he left. He left the next day. And then Gandhari saw him leave, so Gandhari also goes there. Right? So, but again, remember, it is not Kali Yuga when all that is happening. Right? It's a different Yuga. It's Dwapar when that is happening. For Kali Yuga, no. Don't try that unless you're very exalted. Very, very exalted.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Yeah. So somebody might think, like, again, going back to the false protection that we have, somebody might think that, I'm living in a very nice country, right? I remember there was a, in my office, I had a colleague, she used to come, she was in Seattle, and she used to come here to California, and she would always say that, California, you get earthquakes. I'm up in Seattle, I'm good. And then she was on the 13th floor of our building when the earthquake struck Seattle. And she was scared, because if you're on the 13th floor, the earthquake sounds even worse than what it is, right? So person might think that, I'm in a good place. But everywhere there's a problem, right? I've got a good husband, I've got a good friend, I'm born in a very big nation. Nothing can happen, right? Somebody might think that, like America, this country, no war happens on this ground, right? All the other countries are involved in war and all that kind of stuff. Nothing happens on our home ground till Corona sneaks in, right? So we might think that we are safe. We might think that we are well armed and well guarded, but it is not like that. So we all have got, 4 problems: eating, meeting, sleeping, mating, depending. Those problems are also there. And everybody is working hard for them. Animals are working hard for them. Men are working hard for them, right? And so what we are just thinking is that we think that I've got a very good means of living, I've got way of sleeping, I've got what is that called? What is that therapeutic? What is that mattress that they are selling these days? Tempur-Pedic mattresses, right? Which
the memory foam.
Yeah, the memory foam. Yeah, memory foam, and you can have a sleep. What is that called? Sleep number. Yeah.
Sleep number, yeah.
Do you know your sleep number? Right? Then they'll sell you that for $5,000 mattress, like that. So I've got a nice way of sleeping. I've got a nice wife. I've got a nice house. I've got a good bank balance. My government is very good. Therefore, I'm very secure. And Prabhupada says, this is pramatta. This is, you are intoxicated. This is nonsense, right? Because you don't know, any moment Yamraj can come and then kick you out of it, kick you out of your position, drag you and take you to wherever. Yeah, Mrityu sarva haras chaham is what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, right? Through death, I just take away and snatch everything, right? So all of us are like, we are, and this verse that we're looking at from Bhagavatam, it says, Paschan api na paschati. That ki dekh ke bhi nahi dekhna. You are seeing it and yet you refuse to see it. On the other hand, we had Arjuna, right? He was seeing it and he was seeing more into it than he was supposed to see. But here, all of us, we see the reality, but we refuse to see that, right? Till Yamraj is going to come at us and he's like the magistrate, right? He comes and then he's going to tell us, what have we done? So we have to remember that there are people on top of us, like Yamraja and Yamdutas. They know the knowledge. They are dharma-with, people who are knowledgeable about the dharma. So they will take the necessary action. Whatever has to be taken, it will happen. No matter how much bank balance I have, no matter what family I'm born in, no matter what country I'm born in, the laws of material nature are very, very stringent and they will apply to everybody, including Steve Jobs, which Priyanka Mataji pointed out, right?
Yes,
So,
Mataji, yeah. Today morning we just came to know that there is a Prabhuji in New Vrindavan. Means when we been there last year, we haven't thought that this is the last time I'm seeing him. He just died today morning, 19th June, I guess.
yeah.
So when I was watching in the YouTube, I felt so sad about it because he does very good kirtan. Means so it's like really means we don't know what is just awaiting for us for the next moment.
Yeah, exactly. And what we do is like foolish people, like the jadas, right? So there were 10 that are not to be killed. They said like the jada and the foolish. What we do is we try to just keep this body very perfect, very hale, very hearty. And we think that, by keeping this body hale and hearty, everything will be taken care of. But there is a soul inside that needs spiritual nourishment also. And we forget that part, right? We forget this completely. So this is, actually pramatta. So, we should accept the laws of material nature. We should accept the fact there is inferiority, that we are inferior. We should understand, like in the body, and then while the soul is in the body, and then, I have to remember that Yamraj is going to touch me one way or the other, unless I take to devotional service, then he doesn't, right? So, be cognizant of that fact. Be cognizant that death is going to come. Right? Like that. And it's going to come to everybody. Don't have that cozy feeling. Don't have that hope that somehow or the other I will be saved. And somehow or the other, because I'm a devotee, Krishna might save me. Like that. No.
Hare Krishna, ma?
Yeah, go ahead.
On that point, I just wanted to mention that, when I was teenager, I used to think I was invincible, like 80, 40 years old, seemed so far away, and I had the whole entire good, beautiful life to live. But as I started to get older and progress in my spiritual life, this fact is always in the back of my mind now that, this is all temporary. So there is no attachment to like, okay, yeah, we have a house because yes, I want to keep myself and my kids safe. But there's no attachment. And I used to keep, like, I was very fond of keeping journals and like memoir, like I used to save the tickets, like kids first ticket and this and that slowly frizzled away. Is like, as I progress in my spiritual life, is that the kids are going to go, they're going to have their own life, I'm going to die, they're going to die. So that started becoming reality. And I've seen some advanced devotees, and thankfully I have served in their house, my Maharaj, and I would see that they live so simple, like very few items just to keep the house running. They're minimalists, like they're not accumulating. And so, like you can just feel it, like, oh, they are living to uplift themselves for Krishna, to level of Krishna. So just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Yes, Mataji, adding to the Priti Radhika Mataji's version, means last few months we are just living on the basic, means that it is the coronavirus showed us that we don't need much. We just staying in the house, just doing something, means doing prayers, cooking. So we don't accumulate, means we don't we don't need that much. The basic thing can give us everything what we needed.
Yes, and Prabhupada says in one of his purpose, I'm forgetting which verse he says that, but he mentions that um, people talk about population explosion, and they say that if the population becomes too much, then the earth will not be able to provide food for them, and so there will be a mass famine and people mass hunger, and people will just die because of that. And he says that is not so. That is not so. Actually, when the sinful reactions increase in the world, then Mother Earth, and we see that in the story of Prithu Maharaj in Bhagavatam, then Mother Earth, she pulls everything inside towards her center, so that how far can you dig inside the earth to get something, right? We'll die in that process. So so Mother Earth does that. And then there's a very famous saying that there is enough for everyone's need in this world, right? And from Ishopanishad, what is that verse? Om Purnamada Purnam Idam Purna Purnas Udachyate Purnas Eva Purnaya Adhaya Purnadhaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. So he says that from complete whole, what gets produced is a complete whole. So what does that mean? That from Krishna, this earth has come, and this Mother Earth is complete in itself, which means that whatever is required for all those who are living on this planet Earth, they will get everything from there. They will be provided everything for their sustenance. Everything is there. But the only thing is that you should take only that much, which is your quota, and not try to take more. And that is where the problem lies, when we want to expand and go beyond our quota. And you're not the only one who commented that. Another Mataji was also telling me the same thing. She said, "Kharche hi kya hai?" Like that, where are the expenses these days? I'm not going out to buy clothes, no jewelry, no restaurants, no gas in the car and things like that. Yes. So we have to sit down and we have to take tally and see how much do we need. And that's what the Pandavas said. Give us 5 villages. Just give us 5 villages and we are happy. You keep the rest of the kingdom, rest of the world, you keep with yourself. Like, we just need 5 villages. How much is 5 villages? But Duryodhana, on the other hand, would not even give them that. So you can see extreme renunciation on one end and extreme greed on the other end. But what is really required for Krishna? And then in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the second canto, there's a very nice description, I think, in the beginning of the canto, which says that, why do you need a pillow? You can use your hand as a pillow, like that. So it keeps on, giving so many examples of you don't need this, you don't need that, because your body itself can fulfill the needs of those things. Why do you need a fan? You can fan yourself with your hand, like that. So yes, we keep on going after more and more and more things when we really don't need it. How much do you need? Like that, right? So and that is why the varnashram system was also created, right? So that everybody could work in the area according to their consciousness and then go back to Godhead. So a Brahman was not even supposed to work. You do pathan and pathan, yajan and yad, and that's it. Somebody else in the society will take care of you, like that, right? But we don't do that. But we don't stick with that. And there's another very interesting verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, and I'm just going to bring that up for you. It is from the 5th canto, and very famous. It's a very famous chapter which talks about the teachings of Lord Rishabdev, who's a full incarnation of the Lord, and he's teaching his sons. So coming up on a screen close to you is a verse, and please let me know whether you got that.
Yes, we did.
You did that? Okay. So let's go. Am I sharing it with you? No, not yet, right? Okay. Please complain if I don't share. Don't be shy. Ask for your right of having the chance to look at a shloka from Bhagavatam. Nunam pramattaha kurute vikarma yadindriya pritaya aprinoti na sadhu manye yatatmanoyam asannapi kleshida ashadeha. And the translation. Somebody going to read the translation for me? Who will grab
I'll
it?
do it.
Okay.
May I read, Mataji?
Yes, please.
When a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he certainly becomes mad after materialistic living and engage in all kinds of sinful activity. He does not know that due to his past misdeeds, he has already received a body which, although temporary, is the cause of his misery. Actually, the living entity should not have taken on the material body, but he has been awarded the material body for sense gratification. Therefore, I think it not befitting an intelligent man to involve himself again in the activities of sense gratification, by which he perpetually gets material bodies one after another.
What do you think about this?
Yeah, getting the body again and again. Still, Mataji, we have that desire to accumulate.
Yeah. Yeah. And then because of the desire to enjoy, for the desire for sense gratification, we nunam pramatta kurute vikarmana. We do vikarma. What is vikarma? You read about karma, akarma, vikarma. What is vikarma?
Vikarma, which the activities which should not be done.
How do you define what is to be done and not to be done?
They are against dharma, the activities which are against dharma and Krishna's words.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you who defines dharma. you brought in Krishna and saved yourself. Yes, Krishna defines dharma. So, doing things which are against the shastric injunctions. What the Shastras tell you to do, doing against that is vikarma, right? And why do you do vikarma? For sense gratification. So, going back to the verse from today, coming back to our 1.7, right? So, we have got this Ashwathama, and do you think he has done some vikarma?
Yes, he killed the boys in sleeping.
Yeah, he killed the boys, right? They were sleeping. So, he has many strikes there. And so what sense gratification was he looking for in this case?
That nobody from the Pandavas will be there to rule, and
so
they will not be there.
Why is that gratification? Yeah.
Revenge? Is it revenge?
Yeah, sweet revenge. And so, what are on what grounds? Like, what happened because of which he wants the revenge?
So Dronacharya, his dad was killed.
His dad was killed. Okay.
Killed, and so he wanted to take a revenge of that.
Okay. That's one reason. Why else?
And Ashwathama was friends with Duryodhan, and all the Kauravas were killed. So their lineage was pretty much destroyed. So he was angry about that as well.
And so he's thinking, my friends, aham and mameti. Aham is I, and mameti is mine. So this aham and mameti, me, I, and mine, my father, my friend. So no matter how bad Duryodhan is, and the whole world can say Duryodhan is bad, but he's my friend. And how dare you kill him, so I'm going to kill you. Isn't that insanity on part of Ashwathama? Right? So should we kill him? If he's insane? According to the laws. We just read the verse today, right? We had a whole list of people you should not kill.
Say that question again, Ma.
So my question was that should you kill him? Should you kill Ashwathama?
Yes.
Okay, Preeti Radhika says yes. So I'm going to get my rifle. Okay, two votes for he should be killed. So then the question asks me, like, so where and doesn't the Shastra says that he should be killed? For what thing has he done that he has to be killed?
He should not be killed, Mataji, because he is a Brahmana.
We have a merciful in our group.
He's a Brahmana. That's why, I mean, he should not be killed.
Yeah. Right? So many times in life, and we were reading in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that there are perplexities that face you in life. And most of you on the call today are ladies. And we always face perplexities in life, don't we? Should I wear a red blouse with this sari? Or should I wear a black one? Should I wear a beige? Our perplexities can start from such a low thing as, what should I cook? To much bigger things, which I'm sure all of you face, right? Should I watch this movie or should I read the Bhagavad Gita? And you always take the right decision. Like that, right? So perplexities are always there in a life. And then Arjuna is facing that. I don't know what is better. Yadi va javeya, yadi maya jayehu, right? I don't know which is much better. Kataranna gariyo. I don't know which one is better, whether we kill them or we get killed by them. And Arjuna, on the other hand, is saying, he says in the Bhagavad Gita first chapter, that nihatta bharta rashtana. He says that even if we are unarmed, if the sons of Dhritarashtra kill us, that's even better. So Arjuna, although speaking learned words, is speaking against the Shastras, because Shastras say that you should not kill anybody. But he's going to the other extreme, and he says that even if Yudhishthira and his family, they go beyond and do not follow the Shastric injunctions and they kill us, that's even better. But actually it doesn't happen. And Krishna had warned him about that. He said, now you're saying don't fight. But because you're a Kshatriya, because your consciousness is that of a Kshatriya, you will still do according to your nature. And exactly what happens, because when they killed, on one end, Arjuna was saying, you can kill me unarmed, right? But they killed his son unarmed, Abhimanyu. And then he gets angry, right? And then Ashwatthama comes and kills all these, and his eyes are red, copper red. Like that. But on the other hand, we have this Brahmana here. So, as we do in most of these, what are they called? We used to call them serial in India. I don't watch much TV, soap operas or whatever they call. So we'll stop here now. And next week, we'll see how further this goes with Ashwatthama. But you have already cast your vote, and we'll see who the winner is in subsequent verses. Should he be killed or should he not be killed? Did Arjun kill him and not? Why not? And if yes, why? Any last one reflection here? Anybody wants to say anything?
We should be cognizant of that the death will surely come. We should be cognizant of that, and we should remember that it has to come.
Right. Good. And so the question today is that we had mattam, pramattam, and unmattam. So what are those three?
Careless,
First one is careless.
And insane.
Careless, intoxicating, and insane. C-I-I. Careless, intoxicated, and insane. So when you go to the levels of intoxication, and these were the levels that are defined, right? You can become pramattam about sense gratification. And if you indulge too much in it, then you will be on the verbs and you will become insane. And people do all kinds of things, right? When they are running after sense gratification, they will do all kinds of heinous crimes. And so that's why you can see that our Ashwatthama is actually on the third level. Unmattam. He's done something so, crazily insane that he has killed these boys in their sleep, like that. So with that thought in mind, we will call it a day today here on this Bhagavatam class. Thank you so much for joining. And tomorrow, yeah.
Mataji, the verse everybody recited, Sonal Mataji and Aarti Mataji, and can I know the number of that?
No,
they memorized.
I'm not going to tell. That's your homework. You have to ask your friend, and then you have to ask offline, ask on the WhatsApp group. Do some hard work.
I'm going to forward it to you.
There you go. You have got a compassionate person here.
Yeah.
Homework has to be taken seriously. Okay, so what was I saying? I forgot. Anyway, yeah, I was going to tell you that tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, Vaisheshika Prabhu is going to run a Japa International. So please come and join us on ISKCON Silicon Valley's Zoom and ISKCON Silicon Valley's Facebook page and Vaisheshika Prabhu's Facebook page, Spark. at 7 a.m., which will be followed at 8:15 by a Srimad Bhagavatam class. And then tomorrow, because it's the disappearance day of none other than Bhakti Vinod Thakur, so we're also going to have Pushpanjali. And so please come there. So it's going to be a long, long program. And if you are in India, as much as you can watch, please come and watch. And then Saturday, we are going to have 6 p.m. Bhakti Vish. And that will be on my Zoom numbers there. Okay? So please do come and attend these sessions and have a fantastic rest of the day. Vancha kalpasurubhyasya kripasindhubhya pramudanam parinebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Lord Premanande.
Thank you so much, Shraddha Mataji.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Shraddha.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shraddha.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for making the session so lively and interactive, Mataji.
Talking about Mattam Pramattam Unmittam. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to name my kids as Mattam Pramattam Unmittam. So you open the Bhagavatam and you realize, like, oh my goodness, this is what people say.
Yeah. CII.
CII, yeah, ICI. Yeah, there you go. Okay, fantastic, dear devotees. Those of you who are watching us here on Zoom, as well as those of you who are on Facebook, have a fantastic Krishna conscious rest of the day and rest of the life. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mata.